raw meat.
Raw?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Just like, you know, well, the truth is that eating raw meat is actually pretty healthy for you. I mean, as long as you choose, you know, the right type of meat. It's a great source of vitamin B, especially vitamin B6, which is a heat-sensitive vitamin which dies when you cook the meat, boil the meat. And so, a wide range of health issues can be avoided by, or have been linked to, vitamin B deficiencies, including diabetes, heart disease, nervous disorders, carpal tunnel syndrome, PMS, morning sickness, toxemia of pregnancy, kidney failure, alcoholism, asthma, sickle cell anemia, and cancer. These things are all affected by vitamin B deficiencies, and at least some of us in this room will be affected by some form of one or the other. And so, raw meat, raw fish, raw vegetables and fruit, and raw milk and raw milk products all carry a lot of vitamin B, which is essential for human hormone and enzyme production. So that's like all of the catalysts for biological functions. So like everything in your body is somehow affected by vitamin B6. So meat, and especially the liver of animals, contains a lot of vitamin B6. And vegetables and milk are pretty negligible, but helpful. So vitamin B6 can help improve your nervous system, your adrenal glands, your skin, your hair, your eye muscles. I read through a lot of forums, and there were a lot of people. I ran into one person who said they got inflamed for a few days, and then after that they were totally fine. They said they just had to get used to it, but there were like dozens and dozens of people who eat raw meat all the time. They say it just gives them extra energy, you don't have to sleep as much, and it's like you are what you eat. And if you're eating cooked food that's had all of its enzymes and good nutrients burned out of it, then, you are going to be less lively in your life, less explosive in your energy. And it's also good for digestion. And so while everyone here, a couple people excluded, is grilling, gaudily guzzling their cooked food, boiling, baked, and burning, you're actually killing what's good in the whole meat process. The real issue with most people is not just the gross factor, the fact that you might get, killed, get worms eating in your body, bacteria, parasites, but the truth is, those really can be avoided if you choose the right meats. An animal that lives off of its natural diet, beef is really the best thing to get. Pork is not always that great, but beef, as long as it's a grass-fed cow, it's probably not going to have that much. It won't have any bacteria or, unnatural things. That really occurs in feedlot-fed cows that live in their own, filth and don't really get out much and eat grain, which doesn't digest well in their system. So, also, worms and bacteria, they feed off of dead tissue in the body, and so if you have a healthy body, they're not really going to be able to survive. And it's like termites with a tree. Termites won't eat a healthy living tree, but they'll eat, a dying, sick one. So if you have immune system issues, you should probably not be eating raw meat, but for most people, it's really strengthening to your body. Around the world, pretty much every culture has some form of raw meat dish. France has a lot of them. Steak tartare is basically raw. Hamburger with parsley and a raw egg. And I found some kind of people out in the boonies who had videos about searing bison meat. That's where you just throw it on for like 30 seconds to give it a crisp on the outside. Ethiopia, Lebanon, In Japan, they soak a lot of their raw meat in vinegar and alcohol, and that kind of cures it in the way that like kosher businesses do. They'll cure it in salt water after bleeding it. And so that is what you're looking for. And you can find those in butcher shops, you can go to local farms. Raw meat, it's not too hard to come by, and it's really tasty. So, also, Eskimos, they're a good example of people who ate mostly raw meat and raw fish and didn't eat vegetables or fruit for long periods of time, and they stayed very healthy. If you ever see the, National Geographic, and there's these dirty people living in huts, but then they've got these awesome teeth. It's because their bone structures, their bones are really good from eating raw meat, and you actually stay really healthy. So all of the scares about it are really, the bacteria and diseases of the communists in the Red Scare of red meat. I came up with that. There are also a number of movie stars. One site that I visited, the Primal Parent was proud to exclaim, "Ate raw meat." Uma Thurman, Demi Moore, Natalie Portman. It was a woman's health site, so they went for woman actors. But basically, it's time to take off the opera glasses of blindness and observe the opera of the tastes of meat upon the stage of health.